Take Northern exposure, add in more indigenous actors, and then reduce some of the melancholy and deeper drama, and you'll have something similar to the new Netflix comedy North of North. This has 8 short episodes, so it's a quick binge. But should you even start it? A young Inuk woman in a tiny Arctic village strives to forge her own path, defying societal expectations and gossip in her tight-knit community. So if you've ever watched my channel before, you know that I love it when we get shows or films that feature indigenous people who are actually played by indigenous actors. Reservation Dogs, Dark Winds, those are 2 that immediately come to mind. But now, with North of North, we are taken to the very, very, very cold setting of an Arctic village that's so far north, when you pass it, you're pretty much going south. Now, the cinematography captures the landscapes and feeling of isolation well, practically transferring the freezing temperatures through the screen to us. And it's not just some barren white flat land. There are mountain peaks that pop up and some amazingly blue water. They live in a beautiful environment that is rich with surprising visual diversity. I mean, if it weren't for the extreme cold, it would probably be a very inviting place to visit. The story follows Siaya, played by Anna Lamb. Now, she's a young mom who has lived in the village her entire life, enjoying the traditions and also embracing more of the modern takes. Now, after she's kind of fed up with her marriage, she kind of implodes her relationships and looks to start anew, finally figuring out who she is and then following the things that make her happy and fulfilled. Now, I don't think the show is a gutbuster when it comes to comedy, but it is smart, witty, and funny. I chuckled a bunch, and I smirked even more, just thanks to the wide variety of characters that we encounter. From Siaya's friends in the community center to the elders that she attempts to entertain, there is such a mix of silly and feel-good interactions that's going to make you smile regardless of how hard you attempt to fight it. And I'm not sure why you'd want to fight this feel-good type of story. I mean, it's not devoid of emotional drama, just like any effective comedy or story, but this won't leave you depressed or melancholy. And in a way, this has some of the same emotional impact as Ted Lasso or Shrinking. We watch a bunch of characters love on each other despite having some hiccups along the way. And because the majority of the players are so charismatic and likable, it's easy to see past any shortcomings and then cheer them on. Now, I was impressed at how much culture the show actually employs. We get to see traditions, sports, even solemn events, and observe how the Inuk people function in these. There's an episode that features this sort of baseball game. I say sort of because it's kind of the baseball that I would be good at. You need 0 skill to play this. And the rules are wacky, so even if you were drunk, you could excel at this sport. Thanks to a hands-on tutorial of the sport, this is one area that did make me laugh out loud. But outside of the strange games, we also get to see how the people embrace their traditions, even if they may seem a little barbaric to those of us who don't rely on the land for food. And I know where my steak comes from. I mean, it's at the grocery store. Before that, though, I'm not naive enough to think that the meat just magically appears out of nowhere. But I don't have to be the one to procure the goods. In this Inuk village, sometimes they do. And I appreciate how the series shows us that hunting for them, it's necessary. And it's celebrated because of how it can provide for the entire village. Now, that rambling may have made it seem like a lot of the story revolves around hunting. It doesn't. But the show also doesn't ignore this aspect within their lives. But what the show is truly about is the journey Siaya is on to figure out what she wants to do with her life and then how she's going to accomplish it. She's met with surprises and multiple setbacks, a lot of which that she creates just all on her own. But it's also entertaining and awesome to watch her work through these and hopefully come out on the other side better than she began. Now, in addition to Lamb, there are a few standout characters who work to gel the story together and make it as enjoyable as it is. Jay Ryan, Micah Harper, Braden Clark, Bailey Poaching, Zora Quinnock, and Marilyn Rashkub all add some quirky emotional dimension to the cast. And they each have differing dynamics with Siaya, complementing her to either soften or strengthen her. And a lot of the time, the interactions are a bit dysfunctional, but this adds to the light drama and certainly to the humor. Now, as I'd said, this is 8 episodes, and they're each 30 minutes, so it is quick to binge. And thanks to a continuous story arc, all of the episodes flow together nicely rather than having standalone episodic arcs. And while this does have a resolution to a portion of the storyline, there is so much more to tell, and it will be highly disappointing if Netflix doesn't renew this. Overall, North and North is a sweet, cute, and easy show to enjoy. It contains enough drama to keep the storylines intriguing and engaging, but not so much that the show becomes dour or sad. The comedy works thanks to witty writing and dialogue delivery, and the cast is an awesome mix of lovable and strange. If you've been needing something light, heartwarming, and bingeable, certainly add North of North to your watch list. Anna Lamb is excellent in the lead and is going to capture your heart with her smarts, wit, and tenacity. There's sex, no nudity, a lot of profanity, and some violence. I give season 1 of North 4.5 out of 5 couches. And this was a huge surprise, and it put a smile on my face the entire time I was watching. Okay, what are some easy comedies that you love to watch? Let me know what they are in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for couching with me.